Hey guys, my name is Taylor. I'm with BassThumbsFishing, and today I wanted to bring you a bit of a review and also a training tip on how I run my float tube, how BassThumbsFishing is running their gear, and what works best for us. It's been a lot of trial and error over the past few months, but to sum it up, this is our float tube. What I'm using right now is a FishCat 4. It's made by Outcast. It's about $200. It's a great tube. It's very seaworthy. As you can see, it's a pontoon style float tube, so it moves in the really fast. So things I like about this tube in particular is the material. It's a thick neoprene material, so it's kind of slick for your body. It doesn't stick to you, but it's very seaworthy and it's very strong construction. It would take a lot to tear this. As well, the seat has the same material. It has nice straps for your back cushion, which gives you a lot of support. The pockets are incredible. I mean, you can see you have a soda can or like a water bottle, a pocket right here for your beverages. You have a lot of storage, and then you also have a pocket in the back. If you want to come over around here and see this, you have a pocket in the back for fishing line, for small things that you don't mind getting wet. And then coming to the back, you have your two valves. These valves are awesome. They're two-part valves, so I can open up the main valve and get all the air out, or I can open up this sub valve right here where it lets air in but it doesn't let air out. So great feature. And there's two of them, so it separates the float tube between two different air channels. Coming on the other side, it's the same thing, but you have these D-rings, which are great, and they're on both sides of the float tube. There's 4 of them together, and you can see what I have attached to these D-rings right here is a custom PVC design that I made. And the way this design works is it's just half-inch PVC pipe that I cut and I put in different places for different reasons. But it floats. It keeps the water about halfway above the PVC pipe. And as you can see on this side, I have 3 different rod holders. They're all at different angles. One's vertical and both are at a 45-degree angle. And what I like about this is if you're trolling, if you want to store a pole, or if you just want to put it out of the way because you just caught a fish, you can put your pole there and it's out of the way. So the first reason I put this front one here is, so say I'm trolling. When you're float tubing, you're moving backwards. So this is how you troll. You're not going to troll from behind. So you can look at your line, you can look at your pole, you can mess with it, you can see if you got a hit on it, and it just sits in there firmly. What I did is I cut these grooves in there so it fits the nice finger channel in the back of your rod, and then it also holds your rod deeper because this cuts out for your reel to sit deeper inside. And on the middle, you can put a rod here. For example, if you want to just leave this right here, but I typically leave my poles out of the way and I put my tackle. So right now I'm carrying like some medical scissors or medical crimps. I have my needle nose pliers, and I have a hook gripper, and this is for some of the larger bass that you need to get down deep in their mouth to pull the hook out. So I leave right here for quick access. Another reason I have the poles, the front and back, is so say I'm out there fishing, I'm using this pole. So I'm fishing with my pole. There's nothing here that's obstructing my casting angle, and this pole's out of the way, so it doesn't even get affected. So I'm never going to sling it. I'm never going to possibly hit it. There's been a few times where I might have clipped the top, but you really have to be doing a wide cast to hit that. So it leaves everything out of the way. So when I'm fishing, this is basically how it looks. I'm not going to bring more than 2 poles with me. If I really do for a tournament, then okay, I'll put it there, but it doesn't affect my casting in any way. And moving back to the rear of the design is my float tube GoPro design. And what this does is it brings my GoPro high behind my head and gives you, the viewer, a great angle. So I have it angled so you see just the back of my body, and you can see all the way over to the edge of my float tube custom design. And that gives you, the viewer, a good perspective of the tip of my rod, of my reel, of me jigging, of me casting, where it's actually going in the water. So it gives you guys a great perspective. So for those of you that are making GoPro designs, you're making mounts here too, this is a great design. I'll put the link for the website that I found this GoPro design on. And if you guys actually want a video on how to make this design, let me know. Like and subscribe, and put a comment in there saying, hey, can you show me how to make that? And I'll actually make a video just for you guys on how to build this. It's very simple. It cost me maybe $40 to build, and it's great construction, really easy to take down and put back up. But this GoPro design keeps it out of the water, keeps it high up. It doesn't rock back and forth too much, which I really like. And you have a few options. You can put the waterproof mount on there, or you can put the sound mount that has the holes in it. The only thing with that is if your GoPro mount falls backwards or goes forward, then you might have some issues falling in the water. With this design, I like it when I'm going to stow this, I can actually tilt this forward and it'll sit away nicely in my trunk or on top of a truck, and I can just pop it back up. There's a few ideas that I have coming soon about how to attach this pole to the tube for if all fails and it falls out. I'm still designing a way to pull this rod out and be able to hold it and maneuver it and then put it back in an easier way. As of right now, it's still in the brainstorming phase. And on the right side, it's bare. The reason I keep it bare is, like I said before, for casting. You don't need anything to be on this right side. A few things I'm going to be coming to in the future when I imagine them up is some way to hold your spinner baits, your buzz baits, your top water lures, where they can sit right here unaffected and not pop your float tube. So now I'm going to move inside the float tube. The right side, this right column here, it's got a zipper pocket, which is great. There's a lot of storage in here. There's like a neoprene fabric inside of this. You can put stickers. This is where I keep my tackle. All my tackle goes here. So typically what I'll bring is I'll bring 2 boxes, maybe 3, but 2 is probably your maximum. I don't know exactly the liter size on these. This is the model 3500, the Plano. And in here, if you guys want to see a video on what I keep in my tackle boxes, in my float tube, that's going to be a separate video, so stay tuned and I'll post this video next week. And the other thing I keep in here is my worms. So I get a large Ziploc bag, put all my worms in here, and this keeps them dry, this keeps them out of the sun, and I have my rigs, I have my hooks, I have everything I need and my worms, and I'm good to go. The only other thing I keep in here is a valve, and this is designed for this float tube. And what it does is it goes inside these valve ports and allows you to breathe a little easier. I keep this in here just in case you lose air in your float tube and you need to fill it back up while in the water. The only other thing I keep in this pocket is a small Ziploc bag. And if you look inside, you'll see a bunch of random little cut-up worms. And these are my worms after I'm done using them. If the fish, doesn't swallow it, or it's not floating somewhere farther from me, what I'll do is I'll put them in here. Because if we all start throwing our worms in the lakes, let's be honest, there's going to be a lot of little plastic worms in the bottom, and the fish are going to get sick, and they're probably going to die from eating these, so we don't want to leave these in the water. And let's move to the left side of the float tube. For me, because I cast with my right arm like most other fishermen, the left side is for everything else. So I'll have my water bottle on my left side, not on my right side, because I might affect my cast. And then inside, I'm going to have all my miscellaneous items. So I'm going to keep my scale, whatever scale you use, you can put it inside of there, unless you come up with some way to hang it. That's dangerous. I keep my my buff, or whatever I'm wearing around my neck that day, or a spare one. Sometimes I'll actually hang a towel, like right here, hang it down, so I can quickly wipe my hands off after catching a fish. I'll carry a headlight if you're fishing at night, early morning. This is a cheap little $2 waterproof phone case, a little baggie. In there right now I have headphones and I have an extra GoPro battery, so you might want to keep one of these on you just in case, so you won't throw your phone in the water and be out a few $100s. I keep a bag that has all my GoPro parts. So just in case I need my waterproof mount, I have it in here. I have an extra SD card, I have an extra backing. I also keep a head mount. So say during my videos I want to give you guys a head perspective of what I'm talking about or what I'm doing. I can just throw this on my head, detach it, put it on quickly, and you're good to go. The only other things I'll keep in here, maybe an extra pair of pliers in case I lose mine, because I have lost many before. Make sure you guys keep chapstick in here. You're going to need that on a hot day. The only thing I'll keep in here other than that is when I get in the water, that's when I pull off my rod socks. You can pull them off later, but I typically leave them on until the last second. I roll them up and I'll put them inside my bag with my rod sheath. You can put it in here, or you can also put it back in the back pocket I showed you just a minute ago. So this is what it looks like when I'm out in the water. The last thing about this float tube that I really like a lot is the back portion. Check this out. The back portion has this neoprene fabric in as well. It's not like a cooler though. There's holes in the back that drain it, but it's a great place to store things. Just remember that it's gonna get wet. So in my case, when I'm float tubing, this is how it sits. You have a pole, the pole sitting right behind your back, and you can put some things in there. So what I typically bring is I'll have a bag like this. You know, this is some cheap little gym bag. You keep your fins in there. I keep a net. I usually bring an expandable net that I typically don't even leave expanded. Leave that in the back. And I bring my little fish cat 4 seat net that sits right in front of you. And this actually plugs in right in here on the mounts. Until I get in the water, all this stays in my bag. So I'll sit down in my float tube, I'll back in, and that's when I put my fins on. I leave that bag back there so I can put anything else in there. A few other things I've done with this is I've put a small little cooler. I put the plastic shell of a cooler, I put that in there. If you want to bring a lot of tackle with you, if I go to a tournament and I need a lot of tackle, what I'll bring is that, like I said, that cooler liner. I'll put all my tackle boxes in there and I'll stick it back there. You can put your waters back there, but it's going to be just as warm as the water is because it's sitting in the water. So that's my float tube in a nutshell. This is my design. If you guys want to see anything, if you want to see what I have in here, what I have in there, specifics, name brands, types of fins to use, just let me know. If you guys want to know how to clean this float tube, there's a particular way to clean it, let me know. Put a comment in there and I will tell you exactly how to do it. You know, if you keep this thing clean, it's going to last you a lot of years. I've had this for a few months now and it's been great. Hoping to have many, many more years with it. So thanks for watching, guys, and Bass Thumbs out.